do I begin? I see the hate, they don't wanna see me win. Bank deposits, I got more coming in. Top down, throw the money in the wind. I don't want it all. Heard he scammer, had to switch up the accounts. Moving paper, gotta call him my account. It's all in.
Hey everybody, welcome to No Holds Barred. I'm your host, Candice Bar, and I have my co-host, Chris, with us.
Hello.
We're in luxemediastudios on Rodeo Drive, the fabulous luxemediastudios.
Oh, yes.
And I had to do a show today because we got to talk about this. We typically don't talk about current events or what's going on. We typically talk about like what's going on with Lux Media Studios or our shows or something within Lux Media. This has nothing to do with Lux Media, but I've been so engrossed in this that I had to have a show about it because it's such a crazy, wild ride. We need to talk about the Amber Heard Johnny Depp divorce trial going on. It is insane.
Insanity. It's just crazy what's going on.
I can't believe it. Like I really don't watch things like this. I actually don't really watch TV very much at all. But the level of crazy that this chick is at is off the charts.
I just can't believe how like blown up this has got. Like we all thought it was going one way, but then it juked everybody out and went the complete opposite way.
Like she reminds me of someone that we actually both know.
Oh yes.
Looks wise and also like mental instability wise, I would say. But she is just, again, another special brand of crazy. Like it's so sad. I feel really bad for Johnny.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, the poor guy is just, it's constantly right now. It's just him trying to be like, look, I'm a decent person. I didn't do all of this crazy, stuff, but she did a really great job of like twisting everything at first to really seem, what it wasn't. She
is manipulative. She seems to be extremely bipolar. She seems to be a bit schizophrenic. She is quite mentally, emotionally, physically abusive.
Yes.
She's a disgusting human being, in my opinion.
It's just, first off, to do that to somebody, and then to have the audacity to be like, they're abusing me. What?
Well, I don't know if you saw this or not, but like he shared his childhood, and it seems to me from what was shared from him and his sister, because his sister was on trial, spoke on his behalf as well. And they came from, their mother was extremely abusive, both physically and verbally and emotionally.
Yeah.
And so he basically married his mother, and his father was very passive. So like he is his father and Amber is his mother, basically. It's insane. And Amber knew this. Yeah.
See, now that is I'm not as like fully engrossed in the case. But I like, from what I do know and what I've seen, like that's like, I don't know. I feel like that's not something, you purposefully walk into, like knowingly, like being like, oh yeah, she's gonna abuse the shit out of me. Like,
it's incredibly subconscious.
Yes.
And like you attract what you believe you deserve.
Ooh, you attract what you believe you deserve. That, that's very true. I really agree with that, because I mean, if you think you're garbage, you think you're trash, you think you're nothing, well, that's what you're going to be surrounding yourself with, or people who will treat you like that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't want to believe that Johnny would want that, but
again, like you're not doing it on purpose. Like,
yeah,
like you're not knowingly doing this, but you are kind of doing it. So I feel so bad for him. Like, honestly, like with all the excessive amount of information and details, like pointing clearly in one direction.
Yeah.
She should be embarrassed. She should be super embarrassed, but she won't be embarrassed because she's such a narcissist.
Oh, she's going to fight this to the bitter end.
Yeah, she's such a narcissist. Like she won't even see like the actual picture of what's happening, because she'll narcissists love to play the victim, even if all information's pointing the other way.
Well, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, there's going to be an end to this at some point, and somebody's going to be in the wrong, and I don't think it's going to be Johnny.
I loved they put Amber's old assistant, like they were interviewing her, I guess, over Zoom, and she was just very, as a matter of fact, very concise, very smart lady. I really, really enjoyed her. Like some questions they were asking her, she's like, that's a stupid question. I'm not answering that. I have no answer for that. Just like she put them in their place.
Well, you know, I know that I read somewhere, I think that Johnny was laughing at some of the questions the prosecution was like asking, because he was just like, really? Like
it just seems watching them like they know that they're grasping at straws.
That's what I was gonna say.
They know it, and like it's clear that they don't have
much.
It's like little to nothing, and none of the evidence ever shown up until this point ever indicated he put any hands on her ever, and he'd raised his voice to her like when he finally had enough. Which she's lucky she didn't get fucking decked out.
Well, I mean, like, oh, he yelled at me.
Or he was slamming cabinet doors, because she's like antagonizing him up until that point, and then she would video it.
Well, see, and that's like goes back to the whole manipulation and the gaslighting, you know. And she's like, all right, I'm gonna rev him up to this, and then, you know, but still he didn't, you know. It goes back to he never laid hands on her. Well, sure, maybe he broke some things, but
he's allowed to slam. First of all, they lived. Those are his penthouses you're living in. He's allowed to slam his cabinets
doors,
all he wants.
Come on, you know.
Also, like her friend, because he has a location downtown. I actually know where it is, and her friends. I think he has like 3 penthouses in that location, that one location.
Oh wow!
And her friends were living there rent free. Like one of his friends has been living there rent free, but that's his friend. A couple of her friends were living there rent free as well for quite some time. They're just so, like, she took a shit on his side of the bed.
And then like try to like be like, he did this.
No, like, so I guess she was going to Coachella, from what the story is. They were fighting. It sounds like usual. She was going to Coachella for the weekend. He had like finally, I guess, left and like kind of moved out of his own place to go to his other place in West Hollywood and not be around her. And he wanted to go back to his place when he knew she was gone to go get the rest of his stuff. And she took a shit on his side of the bed. Like, what human...
Fucking children.
Like, are you...
Yeah. Whoops.
Like, that is like a special kind of crazy.
That's like so like
disgusting.
Yeah, it's like, that's just like childish, immature. Like, it's literally like, you're gonna shit on somebody on the bed to get back at him. Like, what? Because he didn't want to take any. I literally, like, I'm kind of like speechless. That sort of stuff is just like, there's no excuse for that.
I am shocked, like, on so many levels of this, but I'm really shocked that he was in this relationship as long as he was. And I know, like, a lot of people are in abusive relationships for a long time, but like, you don't really hear about men being abused very much, though it does happen a lot.
It's that whole stigma about, you know, oh, yeah, I'm an alpha man, you know, you know, but anybody can be abused. And
totally.
I think this is a really big turning point for a lot of cases, because, I mean, this is the first time, I guess, in recent history where, you know, where the man who was accused actually was the one being abused the whole time.
And this is like a major Hollywood actor. This is Hollywood royalty.
Like, and this has never happened before. Well,
that we know of.
Well, exactly, in this sort of like spotlight. So I think that sadly, it's going to also have like negative repercussions for people who are actually going through abuse and stuff.
1,000,000%. So women, you know, she's embarrassing to females that are they're actually going through this stuff, because again, there's no evidence whatsoever as of yet showing that she had any physical abuse whatsoever. Now, they did fight quite a bit. I mean, that was clear on the recordings that she was recording.
Which that's kind of like, that's weird. You have these all on hand, like, hey, got these all lined up and prepared.
Well, I believe, like, Johnny or somebody had stated during one of the videos that I saw, like he knew she was recording in the beginning because like she would forget like what she would say. So he told her, record our conversation so you can go back and listen to what you said. And then later she started recording without his knowledge.
Well, you know, it's weird. It's a lot of things are not adding up, you know, but
crazy. Like I find her to be embarrassing for females. I find her to be, she should be embarrassed. If she had any sense whatsoever, she should be embarrassed for herself. She should pull it, or
I would.
I think he's actually suing her for $50 million because she did an interview in a major magazine stating that he was abusive, and that's where this is all coming from, I think. It's just a really wild trial, a really wild ride. I feel really bad for him.
I do too. And I feel that there's going to be a lot of repercussions that are not just even for like this, like, you know, like this sort of abuse, but also for like industries and stuff too. Like Disney and I don't know if it was Warner. Both of them, they canceled Johnny off all their projects. Every
no
single
questions
thing.
asked.
Yep. Not even a single question.
No proper information.
Nothing.
Just pulled it. Just
on allegations. And now finding out that he's he's
the victim.
The victim.
Yeah.
It's, you know, now they're all like, please, Johnny, please come back. And he's
I don't believe there's going to be
won't.
any amount of money they could possibly offer him.
Well, it's all a matter of principle. They, as soon as the first things came out, they immediately were like,
that's
done.
What's wrong with, like, I guess you'd associate this with cancel culture.
Yes.
It's like, oh, I hear one thing.
And then it's done.
I didn't ask any other points or any other sides of what's happening. I heard one thing that makes it a fact, and this is the next step of action.
It's very knee-jerk reaction.
Totally.
And I think that this trial is going to put some of that into, you know, perspective, hopefully. I don't know if it will, but I mean, you know, I'm not saying like, you know, like, not everything obviously is black and white, but you got to look at the facts first. You got to look at, you know, both sides of the story,
because there's going to be two sides.
Exactly. So the fact that, like, you know, they went and did all that, and now they're apparently sending him flowers. They're sending him scripts.
I would light those flowers on fire, like.
And he's like, I'm never coming back to those companies, and it's like, well, I don't blame him.
Because they know what number one, what they lost. They know they were incorrect, and two, and probably more importantly to them, they just lost a shitload of money.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah,
they thought they were going to save money by canceling him on everything, but then when the truth came out,
because no one's going to be watching this anymore, and they know it.
And now, I mean,
their franchise just
lost. It's down. Yep. I mean, there's a lot of franchises that he was in now that are just, that's it. It's done, because they just decided to, you know, go with that knee jerk. Oh, he did X, Y, and Z just based off this one interview. And it's kind of like, well, you know.
And it's really interesting, like, you know, when people go up and like they're being examined or cross-examined or whatever, like everyone's talking about him throughout the experience so far. Like, Johnny's really lovely. He's very mild-mannered. He is almost kind of shy. Like, they're all like, he's like a gentleman.
Yeah.
And then talking about her, they're like,
It's interesting. It's like, wow, all of her character witnesses and all that are kind of like,
I'm really looking forward to her getting on the stand. Really, I'm really looking forward to that very much.
That's going to be
and I can already tell, like, the judge now is like not a fan of her. I have a sense about it, like, not whatsoever, because, you know, judges see a lot of stuff throughout the day. Like, their job is to sit there and listen to this bickering all the time.
Yeah.
And they are pretty good, I think, for the most part, have good senses on, like, what's bullshit, what's not.
Yeah.
And so there's just, like, I'm looking forward to Amber getting on the stand.
I think
because you're not that great of an actress.
Yeah, I think, like you're saying, there's definitely going to be some. We're gonna see something for sure where it's like, something's not really adding up.
Let's talk about like this face Amber's making throughout the trial. The like, this like
sad
sullen,
yeah,
like, purposefully like sullen, yeah.
Woe is me.
1,000,000%. And like they're trying to paint Johnny like this like drug addict, alcoholic.
But he's been like sober for.
Well, he's not actually,
really?
but like, he might be sober now. I'm not sure, but like, even if at the time he was doing drugs and was drinking, I would be too.
Yeah, shit.
Like,
I mean, with the way
that
being
going
treated
on?
like that, yeah. I just feel like another, please.
Yeah,
Like,
with that going on, like, give me a break. I don't know. People like that really just disgust me so much, because I feel like you know what you're doing.
yes, that's the thing.
It's not that you know what you're doing, and like
It's all for a goal, for like your own
like
personal.
I feel like she almost like wanted him to like kill himself. Like I feel like she was trying to really destroy him.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, all the stuff that, just like the pictures that she was taking of him and the things like. You could tell he was in a horrible downward spiral, and she just helped push him down farther and farther.
There was like so many pictures. I was watching something on YouTube of just like pictures captured throughout like them going on red carpets and stuff throughout this time together. And like he'd have like a bruise here, he had a bruise here, he has like bruise, like this is a battered man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, like, I think that, we're, like you said, once she gets on the stand, it's going to be
I'm
pretty
really looking forward to seeing it, because again, she's not that great of an actress,
No.
if at all, and she's not going to be able to, like, public opinion does matter.
Yeah.
And right now she's like negative 15 right now. Like she just, nobody's on this, nobody's on her side.
No.
Even like, doesn't matter how female forward you are, facts are facts. And I've yet to see facts
from her
stating
side.
otherwise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you said, public opinion is very big. She's getting dropped on a lot of things, and it's just going to keep happening, to be honest. I don't know what she thought she was going to get out of this. I guess maybe she thought it was going to go differently. I don't
know, but it's
know.
just this trial's been so fascinating to me, and like I just feel really bad for Johnny. Like I also feel like she belongs in an insane asylum.
She definitely needs help.
Do we have those anymore?
Yeah, they're still around. She definitely needs help. It's it's obvious, because I mean, you don't do that to other people unless there's something wrong with you. I think she has an extreme chemical imbalance,
along with everything else I just said. Like she needs to be highly medicated, and I would be shocked if anyone in the industry does anything with her ever again moving forward. I think that her career as an actress is completely gone. And I think that was a big draw for her too with Johnny. Not that she didn't, I think she did have like a very weird like love for him. But I think she was definitely using him for who he is.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he's Johnny Depp.
You're an unknown actress that nobody gives a shit about. And of course it's going to launch your career so much higher.
Well, not anymore.
And yeah, so now you plummeted. So I had to talk about this. It's being talked about all over social media all the time. If you haven't watched the trial, I would recommend it, because it is fascinating to watch. And
it's crazy.
It's just like constantly unfolding of an onion. It really is. It's
yeah.
Like the more and more and more stuff coming up, it's like
Oof.
you're like, oh, this is crazy. Couldn't get any worse. And it does.
That's the thing. It always does.
It does. It's crazy. So I had to talk about it. I had to get this off my chest. Is there anything else you want to talk about that?
Well, I just want to say, I'm sure in the next the next week or two, we're going to see even more unfold. And now we just sit and wait and just see what happens, I
will also say too, like anyone who is actually being abused physically, emotionally, otherwise, you need to get out of that situation. You need to get proper help for yourself.
Talk to somebody. Say
definitely
something.
Not going to get better. You just got to get out of the situation. It's never okay to be abused on any level, male or female.
No, yeah.
And it doesn't get better unless you change the situation.
That's the thing. The first step is you taking some action, doing something. It's hard. You got to be able to just maybe if not for yourself, for, just to improve, to change, to make better of the situation. Like you said, you got to say something. It starts with saying something.
Yeah. So do not accept being treated poorly. Anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone deserves help.
All right, I think we could wrap it up, I guess. We'll probably do another conversation about this.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna keep watching it.
The more as it unfolds, I'm sure we'll have even more commentary and just
so much to say about this. So
it's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is. It's a wild ride, and I think it's just starting, actually.
Sadly, yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, Chris, for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Constant co-host for No Holds Barred. Thank you, everyone, for listening and watching. And we will see you all again soon. Thank you.
Glutathione is a big word. It's the body's own master antioxidant. It's a scavenger for free radical, bacteria, and viruses. There are no products in the market with the ingredient Nasset. Nasset increases the production of glutathione that's in our body already to strengthen and enhance our immune system, elevate sense of well-being, support muscle strength and endurance, cognitive function, and liver support. It helps with increased energy and blood sugar regulation. Get your bottle of GSH Plus from www.salvationnutra.com.